I'm Camilla Sharples and I am the travelling head girl for Gordon Elliott. I'm in charge of all the travelling, all the transport, all the horses, all the logistics. And he basically gives me a free rein. He's very good. He trusts me, he knows it'll be done, he doesn't have to worry. I'm kind of his security blanket at the races. He likes me to be there because he knows it'll be done. And if I'm not there, we do have brilliant staff that can go instead of me if I'm elsewhere. But I'm just his security blanket. He knows that everything will just be done right. And, you know, I do mess up sometimes, but I'm only human. Who doesn't? But touch wood, it's not very often. I've always been involved with horses. My parents are very good. You know, we didn't have much growing up, but they always made sure we had the horses. And I was big into pony club. I did British eventing, British dressage, BSGA. I'm the youngest of 5. And we've all been involved in horses and ponies. So I was big into, I'll have to give them a mention, Oxenholme Pony Club, and I've made lifelong friends there. And even now they're big supporters of me, even though it was many years ago that I was involved with them. But I think my pony club background stands me well for where I am now. I learned so much there and just got so much guidance. So I did school, I went through A-levels, and I was meant to go to university to do marketing and advertising. And I had an event horse at the time, and I said to my mum that I wanted to defer my entry because I just wanted a season just to event. That's all I wanted to do. And if I had my way, I'd love to have gone and worked in an event yard, but unfortunately the money's just not there for it. So anyway, I did a season eventing, deferred my university entry. She was a good horse. I wasn't at the big levels. I just did novice, intermediate. But she was very successful. We had a great partnership. We did all the teams, like through Pony Club and Riding Club, and yeah, she was very good. But I had 3 or 4 horses coming up through the ranks. So anyway, we called that a day. And at the time of my gap year, I was working in a plumbing and heating company after leaving school, and I worked in the accounts department there. I did that for a couple of years and I had great fun. There was 90 plumbers, so I was in my element. It was great. And then my best friend at the time, Rebecca Menzies, she's now a trainer up the north of England. She worked for Ferdy Murphy and she said, come here. So I upped and left and I went to Yorkshire, and that was where I got the racing bug, and I've never looked back really. So in 2008, I moved to Ferdy Murphy's. I did just over 4 seasons for Ferdy. I was barn manager, I did loads of racing. I worked alongside, you know, Graham Lee at the time was stable jockey for Ferdy, and he just taught me so much because I went into racing, I didn't know anything. As some people would say, what I knew about racing you could write on the back of a postage stamp and still have room for your name and address. Like, I knew nothing. So I learnt so much. There was great people there at the time, and I've made some really good friends from Ferdy's. But then Ferdy was packing up and he was leaving to move to France. And obviously I didn't want to go to France, so I moved to Donald McCain's yard, where I took on the second travelling job. And I was with Donald for 3 years. Again, met some great people, had a great time. And I left Donald's in 2015 because I was offered a job for Gordon doing the number 1 travelling. And Ollie Murphy at the time was assistant trainer to Gordon, and I was friends with him. And he said, come over, and even if it's just for a season, you won't look back. And so I bit the bullet. At the time of accepting the job, I didn't have my HGV test, so I had to go and do that before I moved to Ireland. And I passed my HGV on the Tuesday and I moved to Ireland on the Thursday. So luckily it all worked out. Otherwise I'm not really sure what would have happened. So June 2015, I came over to Ireland, and I'm still here in my 9th season. Every day that I can ride out, I like to ride out 2 horses, Sam Crow and Andy Dufresne. And if you'd ask anybody in the yard, I literally worship the ground that the 2 of them walk on. I do everything for them, and if I'm not there, I make sure someone I trust is on them, and I literally just adore the 2 horses. And last season, Jigginstown very kindly let Sam Crow run in my colours in point to points because he'd lost his way on the track. And I am quite good at sweetening horses up. I had a very good horse, was it last year or the year before, called Mighty Stowaway. I've had success with my own horse. He trained my own horse, Cruise Linen, for me, and he was champion pointer back in the 2018-2019 season. I think he won 13 points in one season. And then after that, I had a horse called Mighty Stowaway. He was an older horse, and he actually went to finish third in my colours in the Cheltenham Fox Hunters, which was unreal. So then Gigginstown very kindly gifted me Sam Crow to run in my colours in points, and last year he won 3 at combined total of about 130 lengths. So he'd kind of found his mojo back. I'd sweetened him up, and so he's back in the Gigginstown colours this year, but I still treat him as if he's mine. And he's the first horse I go and see in the morning. He'd be the last horse I check at night. I ride him every day. I take him to the beach. We take him to the cross country, and the jockeys will pop him round for me. I ride him in front of the string because I know that he's happiest when he's at the front. And anyone that tries to get past me, it's a big no-no. Sam Crow has to lead. And I just absolutely love him. And then there's Andy Dufresne as well, who obviously was a 4-year-old winning pointer for myself in my colours, which made me a bit of money. And he's a bit hit and miss in his races now, but I really try hard to get him to run to the best of his abilities in his races. Now, I can't get into his head, but again, I try and sweeten him up, and he ran a very good race 2 races ago. He didn't run so well the last day, but he could come out the next day and run another good race. He's just one of those horses, you're not really sure what's going to turn up on the day, but with the 2 of them, I try really, really hard, and it's really rewarding when it pays off. And Sam Crow got injured after his 3rd run last season. He had a year off, and he came back and won last Sunday, so I actually cried because it just means a lot. I put a lot of effort into them, and they're really special to me.
There quickens up smartly to the line. Andy Dufresne is going to take the opener. From in second is Fostinovic back in third.
When I was in Ferdies in 2011, I led up my first ever Cheltenham Festival winner, and that was a horse called Divers, or Divers, as some people may say. Graham Lee rode him, and it was just really exciting. I'd never experienced anything like it before, so I was very lucky to lead up a Cheltenham Festival winner there. And then 2 Cheltenham Festival winners for Gordon. One of them was Raven Hill, maybe 3 or 4 years ago now. Jamie Codd won the National Hunt Chase on him. And Shattered Love, back in 2018, she won what was the JLT at the time. And they were really impressive performances and really exciting. I've been involved with, I'd say, nearly 30 festival winners while working for Gordon. So I've been very lucky. I've led up in 2 Gold Cups, numerous Grand Nationals. I led up a Royal Ascot winner, commissioned. I was lucky enough to go to America this October. I led up Calico. It's the first time I've ever been to America, and then to lead up a winner was very special as well. But I have to say, I've ridden in 2 charity races in Punchestown, the Up the Yard back in 2018, I think it was, on a horse called Marcan, and I won, and that was really exciting because I'd never ridden on the track before. And then I missed about 3 years, and I decided I wanted to do the Punchestown Kidney Research charity race at the festival. So I put my name down for that, and I really grafted hard. I lost loads of weight. I got a personal trainer. I was in the gym, and I rode a horse called Amir Kabir, and I won that as well. So that was really cool because I put loads of effort into that second race, and I looked a lot better as well than did the first time out. But yeah, I have to say, just to see what the jockeys go through on the racetrack, on the flat and whatever, that was cool. My first ever investment in a horse was Andy Dufresne, and we paid small money for him, and he paid off. I got a lot of money for him in the end, and it worked. But I've had other horses since, and it doesn't work. But I had a nice touch last year with a horse called Trim Castle. He won a 4-year-old in Castletown Gagan. In January this year, I actually managed to purchase my own house on my own. So I bought a house in Longwood, and that's down to being able to buy and sell a few horses. So I'm just really grateful for that. I have 3 store horses that I'm involved with. I've one on my own, and I've 2 that Simon McGonigal, the head lad's, involved with me. So I've 3 there to hopefully sell on. You know, so I get great enjoyment out the yard, but I put a lot in. The job kind of takes over my life, you know, so it's nice to have that involvement in the yard that Gordon gives me a bit more out of it, because I think he does realise, you know, the hours that I do, they're so antisocial. Like, I can't plan anything, I can't plan holidays, you know. Lots of friends in England and they struggle to come and see me because I could be racing, or, you know, so it does take over your life. And I really think it's a young person's game, because as you get a bit older, you have to start realising, you know, there's more to life than just going racing every day. You need to make time for other things. I like to go shopping, I like to go out for dinner, but as regards to actually having a life outside of the job, I'd say this is my life. But it's a great industry to be in. I wouldn't stop anyone coming into it, but I think you have to be prepared for hard work and graft. And I think that's why the younger generation aren't really coming in, because they don't want to work hard. And if you look at the good staff in any yard, they've been there for years because they know what it's about. But like I say, it is a young person's game, because as you get a bit older, you know, people want a bit more than just work. But like I said, I am very lucky that I get the horses to keep me interested and bits like that. I'm very lucky. I have a driver, Brian Flood. We call him Grandad. He's an absolute legend of a man, and if I'm stuck, he will go anywhere for me. He would drop anything to come and work for Gordon Elliott. He is just a fantastic man, and he's my sidekick, really. In the summertime, I like to take the odd week out, and I like to go and do the sales. I go over to Doncaster in May and I do the store sales, and then this year Gordon sent a few over for horses in training. It's kind of the same group of people at the sales, but also a different group of people at the sales, and it's just fun. It's just, if people say, do you not want a break, like, would you not go away on holiday? But that is a break to me, because it's different, but it's still being involved, you're still getting paid for it, and there's a bit of crack as well. So in the yard, Gordon has he'd have 300 plus horses. We're forever getting new horses into the yard, young horses, you know, from the point to point field from France, and it's just really exciting to see what these horses might go on to do. As a team in Gordon Elliott Racing, we are really, really strong, and I would say that we are possibly one of the strongest teams around. I can only speak for us, but I think the team genuinely is one of the best and strongest teams that I've ever worked with. And it's just really exciting to see what the future holds for the yard and the upcoming horses, and, you know, obviously the current horses we have, and let's hope we have a really successful year and then on to next season and just see what happens.